We're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook friends. I'm Love Coach Scott Catamas, and look who's here. We get to spend Sunday morning with Pollyanna Bush, one of our absolute favorite muses and minstresses. I just made that word up, actually, a minstress. Is that a word? Do people have to do that?
Works for me. Combination, minstrel, mistress. Got
So,
it.
if you're watching this, you've probably seen Pollyanna on Saturday Night Live. And I'm so grateful that I get to spend my morning with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. It's such a pleasure to be here.
And Pollyanna, we're going to be talking a lot about voice. She's clearly, obviously, very empowered. She's an empowered singer, and she's teaching other people how to do that. In fact, Deborah Giusti is going to take her course, as well as many other wise souls. So we're going to, talk about that. But I think what I'm going to do, because I need to share this out on Facebook, so I'm going to put the spotlight on Pollyanna and ask you if you would mind taking us into a presencing. Yeah?
Yes, beautiful.
Good morning, everybody. So wonderful to be here with you. Thank you for being present with me. And what I'd like to do right now is to invite you to clear your lap, just sit up, lengthen your spine, and find a way to breathe fully. So let's take a breath together. And exhale. Feel free to make a sound. Here we go. Inhale, and if you feel moved to, I invite you to put your hands right on the lower ribs. Feel your ribs expand. And exhale fully. Just really feel your body breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Yes, I love that, Scott, making that sound. Beautiful. Inhale. And now feel your heart. Feel that heart center. Feel free to place your hand over your heart. Exhale fully. Inhale fully. Exhale. And in this moment, this present moment, which is the only moment we have, become intimate with your experience in this moment. And create a little bit more space for yourself right here. And breathe fully in and exhale. Feel that air emptying, emptying. Take a breath. This time I want you to hum. Just start to feel into your voice. Just a very simple humming. Notice your throat vibrating. Put your hand right over your heart. Hum a low note. Notice it vibrating in your chest. Delicious. Let it warm up your heart. And see if in this moment you can suspend any judgment that you might have around your voice. And invite your voice, which is unique unto its own. There's only one voice that's your voice. And invite it right here, right now, with that hum there. I've always had these ideas about my voice, and now I get to be curious about it. And breathe in. And notice what simply humming, notice the effect that it has on your whole body. Notice the effect it has on your energy and your spirit. Notice the effect that it has on your mind. It tends to calm the mind, quiet the monkey mind. Now I invite you to put words on your sound. What is your prayer in this moment? Your prayer for yourself? May I be sensitive. Whatever your prayer is, doesn't have to be mine. I'm just showing you an example. May I be compassionate. May I be grateful. May I be connected. And then let those words, what is your prayer for your community, for your friends, for your world? Put words on it. May we be whole. May we thrive. May we be whole. May we be whole. And may we thrive in a transformed world of justice, world of kindness, world of authenticity and connection. Put words on it. And if you don't want to sing it, speak it. Because the same voice that's singing is the same voice that's speaking. It's your voice. A peaceful world, a world of harmony, a world where we share resources, a world that is sustainable, a world that cares about each other, all the creatures and the earth herself. Behold. Deep breath. Send your sound out to the world. Know that your voice has the power to heal, and the world needs your voice. You need your voice right now. Right now. It's so simple. Changing the very molecules in your body right now. Changing the frequency right now in the world. We are one. And you change your frequency, you're changing all of consciousness. Take a deep breath in and reach your arms out. and call that beautiful and yumminess into yourself and slather it all over your beautiful body. Take it all the way down to your feet. Oh, yum, 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 yum. And thank you for joining me.
Wow. Do I really have to unmute and come on? Oh my, what a beautiful, beautiful journey. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Made me cry.
Yeah, look at me. Oh my
Book
gosh.
pumped.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. By the way, that was not rehearsed. Like just before, I was like, "Are you gonna sing? Or are you gonna?" She said, I don't know. I wasn't planning on it. I said, well, let's do something. It was all spontaneous. That's amazing. Yes. And so I guess there it is. Let's start there. The spontaneous. Share with us your process of being such a clear channel for spirit to flow through. You know, finding that balance of your human self, the ego, the part of you that wants to perform and be heard, and all of that, which is beautiful, and also the part of you that has learned how to let spirit flow through. Talk to me about that.
Oh, you know, that all started really, really early for me. My mom had been a singer, a professional singer, and she sang. I know she sang all the way through her pregnancy, and she taught us kids. Was the youngest of five. She taught us to sing in harmony. We sang around the campfire, and that was my first circle singing experience. And I felt a sense of connectedness and harmony. I didn't have words for it. I just knew that, oh my godness, or my godness. Yeah, that's great. Oh my godness. There's so much connection here. There's so much a sense of belonging. And it wasn't about performing. In that moment, it was simply about connection and
Mhm.
meaning and depth and belonging. And I know there are so many cultures, there's still some cultures that know that singing together is a fabric. It's a wonderful, beautiful way of staying connected with each other and harmonizing with each other. So that was my start, and then my first choir when I was 5, church choir, we were called the Cherubs. And I somehow connected and I knew the meaning of it. I was connected with angels. I felt that angelic presence. And as a cherub, I really took that role quite seriously.
Mhm.
I'm a little 5-year-old and singing in the church. It wasn't about religion. When you're 5, it's just about awe. You're just open. So I was open. And I went in a choir singing in harmony and feeling these voices around me and these tall ceilings, the tall big ceilings and the arch stained glass windows. There was just magic. And I felt that I had a role. Again, I didn't have the words. I just knew there was a directive, something that had to come from this voice, and that it was important. It was an important role. So that's where it started for me. And then of course, like you're saying, as you grow older and you get bumped here and there, and then you forget who you are, there were ways that I wanted to get approval and so forth and be seen. And again, that's all quite natural and the journey that we go through. And
Yeah.
it's important, right? It's an important part of development. And then some of it feels really horrible, where I lost touch with my beauty and my gift for the giving. So then, I think of it as an amazing love story. When you watch a really great movie and it's like, oh, and it's wonderful, and then oh no, the crap is gonna happen and they're gonna miss each other and it's gonna get messy. Though, underneath that there's this love that is thread through it all, and that it's is infusing the story, right, fueling the story, and that you're going to come back to that. So that's how I feel about my journey. and being very drawn to spiritual work when I was, 5 years old, I would say that was a transcendent experience. And then at 17, found the Sufis, or they found me, don't know which. And, and it was that singing and dancing and celebrating life, and connecting in that way. And going forward, and studying, becoming an excellent musician, like a really, the precision and being able to, it's like with communication, I want to be able to say what I mean, right? And mean what I say. So having that language of music to really hone my craft and become skilled at that, so that when I sing and when the I am is here, the Pollyanna person gets out of the way, this channel is ready to go. So in terms of the spontaneity, I've prepared, I have prepared the vessel, right? So that I've prepared it from the spiritual side in terms of the deep work. And then I prepared it in terms of the mechanics of how does the voice actually work? And there's really a truth to that, So combining those two things so that I trust my voice, I trust this instrument, and I trust who I am, that even if I don't know what I'm going to say or what I'm going to sing, that the come from is, how can I be of service?
Mm-hmm.
How can I be a source for transformation? And that's my true wish. When I'm out of my way and out of what am I going to get? It's more, what can I give? Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was reminded of something a little earlier when you talked just now that I hadn't thought about in ages. There was an axiom back in the early days of movies. There's an axiom that every movie was basically boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl. That was basically what every movie was.
Yeah.
But as you were talking, I was thinking about our tribe and taking that axiom, and isn't it child knows God, adult loses God, we find God. That isn't that kind of like the journey of our life, right? When we're little, we are connected and we're in that awe, as you said, and the oneness. And then we get into our ego and our identification and our trip and all that stuff. And then at a certain point, we come back to really finding our true connection to the divine. And I think that you just described that so beautifully as you gave us a very quick Reader's Digest condensed version of Pollyanna's life.
Yes, absolutely. That is the love story.
And it is. It's the ultimate love story. I mean, as Rumi called it, the eternal beloved, right? Really learning to connect to the eternal beloved. Again, when I was in my 20s and 30s, it was all about, everybody was trying to find their soulmate. And now everybody's wanting to find their tribe. Right? It's like if there's a romantic partner, great, but it's really about finding the tribe and finding, again, the connection to the eternal beloved.
Yes, absolutely. And I want my soulmate too. Yes.
You're allowed. All right. For that, I'm going to get out the magic wand. It's granted, Pollyanna. You got it.
Thank you, Wizard Scott.
Wizard Scott. I even got the hat, which is here. I give you the full thing. I've got all my little props, that I keep.
Yeah.
I've got the wizard hat, and I've got the magic wand, so I can play the role. I can go there.
Yeah, I believe it. You got the hair.
Got the hair. I got the thing, the beard. Definitely.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to say, and then I'm going to turn it back over to you for a second to ask you to riff on it. Probably about 25 years ago, I started using the mantra of I'm a clear channel for spirit to flow through. And I've absolutely said those words inside in a meditative way thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And it's become a touchstone for me. And I'm thinking you use the word touchstone a lot in one of my favorite Pollyanna songs. And there are times when I'm coaching and I hit a really crunchy place with the individual or the couple or the family I'm working with. And I don't know where to go. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do because it's so crunchy.
Yeah.
And I'll close my eyes and I'll do that mantra. I'm a clear channel for spirit to flow through. And every time my mouth will open and words will come out, and they are not coming from my logical mind. And it's where we needed to go or what needed to be said next. Yeah. And so with that is kind of what I've learned. And I have a huge ego that I always have to put aside to allow that to come through.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the spotlight back on you and ask you to share a little bit more about your relationship to spirit flowing through you, especially as both a writer and as an instrument of God with your voice.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. Ah. Hmm. Well, I'm remembering what's coming to me right now. And I don't know if you've heard of the Diamond Heart work. The Diamond Heart, it's
Yeah.
I was
You've talked about it, and
yeah,
I had
and
heard about it a little bit prior to you too.
yeah, that I was part of for I don't know 20 plus years, and I was interested in this. I was drawn to this training, and this training was drawn to me, and I wanted to resist it. My ego recognized, like, uh-oh, wait a minute, you're not getting rid of me that quickly, or challenging me. And it kept this path was calling me and trying to find ways. It would show up in a book, or a friend would say, and then I somehow happened to end up with a therapist, thinking that I was going there for marriage counseling, and then my marriage broke up, and then I thought, well, I'll stay on and do some therapy. Turned out she was a Diamond Heart teacher also. And I said, well, at some point I want to do some spiritual work with you. And so we did a lot of therapy, and I got to myself to a more balanced place. I'm kind of over the grief and the trauma of losing my marriage. And I said, okay, I'm ready for a spiritual practice. And I had received spiritual practices earlier on with Sufi practices and so forth. And the thing that she said, okay, sense your arms and legs. And I was like ready for the punchline, right? She said, sense your arms and legs. I said, and I expected her to give me a mantra or something like that, right? She said, sense your arms and legs 24/7. Like even when you're sleeping, sense your present sensations right now in the moment. And I thought, well, that's not, what, sense your arms and legs, that's not much of a practice, right? So I started to practice it. And what I noticed was my breath. What I noticed was the moment. What I started to notice was the beauty and the preciousness of what's here right now. So I would say the landing in the moment is it, right? Because that's all we had. This is now. So the training, the presence, like you had a mantra to, may I be what is it, to be an instrument of spirit, or may spirit move through me. Give it to me again.
I am a clear channel for spirit to flow through.
Yeah, I'm a clear channel for spirit to move through. For me, I needed to learn how to get just in the present moment, because I was doing so much with my mind. So for right then, my mental thing wasn't really helpful. It is now, and I use it in a very powerful way. For me, and I think everybody is different in terms of how they find their path. For me, I need to get present in my body, right? And in my breath. So as a child, with all the traumatic things that happened, I used my mind, my mental thinking, to try to get out of being here. So being here in this physical presence was a very powerful thing. And it still is, it's still that presence And then my mind just goes quiet. Actually, it feels just this blank, beautiful, pristine, pure black space, right? Luminous, the luminous night of the void of the infinite, right? That's just open. And I don't know, it's like that thing that you're saying, like, I don't know what I'm in this crunchy place. And then when you get present, the words come, you don't even know where they came from. They just show up miraculously, right? It's like that for me. It's go be present, be in the nothing, be in the complete 100% unknown, and that's the place that I create from. And miracles happen. Things come out my mouth. I'm like, when I'm teaching, like, it's kind of like, wait, who said that? You know?
It really is remarkable how that can happen.
Yeah.
And what I'm about to describe has happened in my life about 3 or 4 times, but I don't promote it because it just spontaneously happens. But I've actually had other spirits come into my body. And there was a time, the last time this happened was by now, this is probably 2 years ago. I was doing a session with a woman in New York who was very kind of definitely not New Age. She was more of a New York businesswoman, and I was working with her because she was having boyfriend problems. And she happened to mention that she really had a tremendous amount of guilt that her father died. She was in New York. Her father lived in San Francisco. She's Chinese, and her father died, and she wasn't with her father when he died. And then she had tremendous guilt about it.
Yeah.
And I could feel it. I didn't know where to go. So I did that thing. I slowed down. I did the clear channel for spirit to flow through. And the next thing I know, the spirit of her father comes into my body.
Oh, wow.
To her, and said things that I would never have known. And she's like crying because this experience is happening. And there's like the part of me that's kind of the observer watching what's going on with my body, right? I wasn't out of my body looking down. It wasn't like that. But in my beingness, there was that part of me going, wow, this is really interesting. While my body was being used as a vehicle for this transmission, this communication that wanted to happen. So it is remarkable how we can be vehicles for spirit to flow through. One of our speakers last night's show, as you know, was all about angels. And actually 2 of our speakers mentioned that angels work through people, and that when we're open, an angelic realm and an angelic spirit can come into a human body to provide the service that Pollyanna needs, that Scott needs, that this person is longing for or needing in the moment. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly. And you had asked about in terms of when I'm writing songs. I started to my Diamond Heart work, doing inquiry. I would write songs about things that I was curious about in myself. They were like little like homeopathic remedies that worked on my being, and then I knew they were questions that other people would be diving into, because we are, we're human. We have these questions about ourselves, and we have similar things to discover in terms of who am I, what makes me tick, what makes me amazing, what's in my way, all those kinds of things. And so I started to write songs as a way to heal and become whole, and also as a way to reach out to others. And the more and more I did that, the more I became aware of this energy of, it was, the spirit, the feeling of spirit, the experience of spirit, that even when I'm here singing and playing by myself, that this spirit is carrying those messages of love, those questions, those answers, out into the universe. And I just get this feeling that I am connected with everything when that's happening. And my prayer is going out, and it's always the wish that I can be of service. And that's where that started. It started with my own inquiry into myself to heal and whole and wake up. And then it naturally, when we start to connect with who we really are, that generosity of spirit, our heart opens and we want to be of service. It's just a natural outpouring, right? Not something that we have to try to do. I just wanted to answer, because I hadn't answered that part of your question in terms of the songwriting and the things like being a touchstone, like that prayer of being, may I be a touchstone, that something about my presence here, my life, that it matters, and that I make a difference.
That's
and
so.
We all have that. We all have that.
It's true. When people are depressed, the best way to get out of depression is be of service to people that are less fortunate than you are.
Yeah.
It's the absolute cure for depression that's not chemically based. There's chemically based depression, and there's circumstantial based depression, right? Okay, so sorry, I've got a cough today. We're in agreement that being a clear channel for spirit to flow through is a very cool thing. And it's not limited to people that just have your particular vocal talent and your particular creative talent. But it's anybody, and that you are helping people. You've got this amazing workshop, and we're now going to get into what's really important, which is she's got this amazing workshop she's doing. Deborah Justy's going to take it.
It's a training. It's not just a workshop. It's a 6-month training.
Thank you. Training. So rather than me saying much more about it, tell us about the Empowered Singer. Tell us about what's going to be happening.
Well, the Empowered Singer is bringing together my loves. As you can tell, I love singing. I love using my voice in a powerful way. And I love transformation. And I love being of service and dedicating my art to being a source of transformation, to creating a more beautiful, harmonious, just sustainable world. And so why I called it the Empowered Singers, I'm putting my loves of vocal mastery, which is literally, there are the nuts and bolts of how the voice works. And everybody has all the equipment they need. If you're speaking, you can sing, right? It's the same voice. And there are certain principles that the voice follows mechanically, just like, you bend your arm this way, not the other way. And as long as you comply with how your body is built to work, it works beautifully. And a lot of people don't realize that maybe if they've struggled with out of tune singing or straining their voice, straining for the high notes, or, running out of breath, things like that. There's literally such an easy step-by-step way to resolve those things, so that then this channel gets to open up and you get to use it however you were born, what you were born to bring into the world, and how to use your voice. So the Empowered Singer is combining vocal mastery with and infusing it with meaning. So, how do you want to connect? What is the meaning that you want to bring? When you speak, who do you be? It's the I am, right? So vocal mastery truly is I am, and I speak it or I sing it into presence. And it could be when I'm working, with somebody that you're working with who is struggling with depression, or when I'm singing to a child, or I'm singing at the bedside, or I'm up on Broadway and I'm, moving a huge audience of people. Whatever that is, you're being able to embody presence and spirit and being as you use your voice. So you get to have the free, completely beautifully working mechanically well, like when our bodies are in harmony, right? We feel good, we feel fluid, you know, we're able to move in the world in a way that feels free, right? And easy. And then I get to be who I am, walk as I am, talk as I am. I've seen people when they've started taking voice lessons, maybe they don't have a professional aim, like they're not trying to go sing on stage. They just open up their voice, and then all of a sudden they're changing careers, or they left a relationship that wasn't appropriate, or not, that's not the right word, but wasn't working, and or found a new relationship, or found a different vocation, like, oh, that's really what I'm here to do. Oh, that's my vision. So I see people get so much clarity about what they're here to do when they are an empowered singer. And that could be singer speaker, again, same voice. Yeah. So I've worked with motivational speakers, I've worked with actors, I've worked with people that have gone onto the big stage, people that are, again, singing at the bedside, or there's just so many applications. We're using our voice every day, right? And how consciously are we using our voice? How often are we really thinking about, wow, I need to speak this way, or it's not even need, it's just so connected to who you be that it comes out in just the right way. Like you were saying, Scott, like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I just know that who I truly am, is going to come through. And that's what the Empowered Singer training is really aimed at. My prayer is that, since I feel like you're the wizard, I'm the voice midwife, right? I'm helping people birth their voices in the world and become the leaders and the healers that they were born here to be. And like you were saying, like, one of the quickest way to get out of depression is to be of service, right? Mm-hmm. And so how do you take what you're doing with your voice, with your speaking every day, whoever it is you're speaking with, whoever you're singing to, if it's a child, that it's infused with your love and with the meaning, right? With your heart.
Beautiful. Yeah. There's so much wisdom you're sharing. Something that just really stood out for me is when you were talking about how when people really access their voice, their life changes, not just as a singer.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's because when people are working with you and they are empowered, when we are empowered, we're back in alignment. We're back in alignment with spirit. We're back in the flow. And when we're in the flow, a bad relationship or a job that's no longer serving us goes away, and the new relationship or the new job comes in because we're back in the flow. And so that to be empowered, I'm going to make a political statement, does not look like Donald Trump. To be empowered, right? Because that's not real empowerment. That's ego. Sorry for anybody who's a Trump lover. But it's just an example that's just too obvious to use. True empowerment is the Dalai Lama. True empowerment is our spiritual teachers, who are in alignment and are in service to the world, are in gratitude and alignment with life. And so that is real empowerment. And so the empowered singer, you're using the voice as the focal point, not just the vocal point, but the focal point. But it's really about empowerment. And so thank you. I mean, that really, I got it. I got it.
You're signing up for the training. You Scott, you use your voice every day, and I experience you as empowered. And I love that you really highlighted that word, because that is the point. It's empowering you to go forth and be who you really are. That's when we are. And I love yes, being in the flow. And when we are in the flow, I mean, not that bumps don't happen, they do.
Of
It's just
course.
we have so much of that, that coming back to the center that's operating, that getting toggled off is like, oh, we
Come
find
back.
the center place, right?
That's what an airline, there's a great analogy for what you just described. And that's airplane flying. We get on an airplane in Los Angeles and we experience it takes off, and 5 hours later we land in Hawaii or we land in New York or wherever it is we're going. And in our world, it's easy. We started one place, we got to where we were supposed to. Do you know that that airplane was off course 98% of the time?
No, I didn't know that.
98% of the time it's off course. The pilot's job, bring it back to course, bring it back on course, bring it back on course. Now we just experienced perfect takeoff, perfect landing, but that pilot is constantly taking the plane and bringing it back on course because the winds come in and the different factors come in. He has to keep bringing it back on course. And so it's not like we just flick a switch and we're now permanently tuned into God consciousness.
Okay, I'm awake and that's it. Everything's going to go great.
And if anybody tells you that, run as fast as you can in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. We constantly have to come back to course, right? I have to come back on, come back. All right. So I want to briefly go into where people can learn more about the empowered singer. And there it is. There's, if people go to pollyannabush.com/empowered-singer, that's the page we're on right now. Open your voice, transform your life. There it is. That's what we were just talking about. And this is starting very soon. It's starting February 8th. So we've got, about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow. Now, how many people are going to be in the course? How does that work?
Well, okay, so the structure, I'm thinking around 10 will be a good number.
So
And
very
I
intimate.
would say
Very,
jump on, because it's going to fill up. It's filling up.
10's not very often. Yeah, I mean, that'll fill up for sure.
It might, I mean, I already have a bunch of people enrolled, and people are already like on the edge. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cross the line. So definitely jump on. If you are feeling drawn to this, jump on now.
Okay.
It'll be a combination of group classes, individual coaching with me, additional trainings. So there are a weekly group class, weekly private training. You will have an accountability practice buddy, right? So you get to create goals, and you'll have every 2 months an in-group share. It could be a song that you wrote, a verse of a song that you want to sing, like maybe you want to sing like Aretha Franklin, and you're going to go for that. Everybody's stretch is going to look different.
Right.
Okay. So it might be, I'm going to write my own mantra, or I'm going to share it. I'm going to teach it. So every 2 months, an in-group stretch share. There will be a private Facebook group for people to interact and share with each other, homework assignments, and then additional trainings. I do have some guest teachers that are coming in. I'm going to be doing an extra confidence building training, some extra songwriting training, additional. And then there's this wonderful man from Denmark that I studied with when I studied at the Complete Vocal Institute. He's a master singer and also an incredible actor. And he teaches this amazing process for song interpretation or presencing when you're speaking. So it could be either way. If your aim is to be a motivational speaker and you want to know how to, move and groove and who you be when you connect with your listeners, right? Or however you want to use your voice in speaking, or if it's about a song and, things like that. So on sound healing, I have a sound healing teacher coming in, and beautiful Dave Worm, a voice instructor who's been traveling with, he's an amazing circle song facilitator. He's going to come in and teach some stuff about creating and facilitating. So we have a lot of stuff in store. It's going to be a deep dive, and with group training and private training and personal coaching and collaborating with your buds. And a big presentation at the end where you can invite friends and family and share your big work that you
And
did.
how long is the entire course? What's the length? 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. And what a wonderful 6 month transformation and a good time, because let's face it, we're in a pandemic, so a lot of our things to do outside are not happening and won't be happening for a while. So this is a perfect time to really change your life by changing your voice. And I saw that, and it's really true. You know,
Yes.
it's beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to go to tell me about this 5-day challenge. What's that
Okay.
all about?
Yeah. So starting tomorrow, actually, it's called the From Shower Singer to Empowered Singer. You know how some people say, I only sing in the shower. Okay,
I'm
well,
one of those guys. Yep, that's me.
so come on out of the shower. So yeah, 5-day challenge, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every morning. Oh, this week, Monday through Friday. And I will give some coaching on a certain principle about singing technique. And then hot seat a few people, and then you'll have homework to go and practice, and then get to share on the Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group where you can share your takeaways and your insights. And if you're feeling really brave, you can sing something on there. So that's a free training, so people can get a feel for working with me. And then, yeah, that's the 5-day challenge.
Great. Okay. Now, and but wait, there's more.
There's
There's
more.
there's more. There's also the 90-minute empowered singer. So I'm going to that page. Tell me about this.
Well, some people might not be able to make it to the 5-day challenge. And by the way, about the 5-day challenge, each day will be recorded and then put on the Facebook group. So if you missed part of it or missed it, you can go and review it. The live workshop, 90-minute workshop, is a one-off.
Okay.
There's one that's coming Tuesday, 6 to 7:30 PST. It's it's one training where I'm covering a bunch of stuff about singing and getting people informed about their instrument and helping opening it up. And then another same thing a week later on a Tuesday evening, 6 to 7:30.
Okay. Now, it seems like if I'm like all these wonderful options, probably the best option might be to go to your Calendly, and you're offering a free consultation. Yeah.
Exactly. So people can jump on to a discovery call with me, and we'll talk about where are you today with your singing or in speaking and using your voice, where you'd like to be, and what's in the gap, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then look at solutions and ways that we can have you realize your vision for your voice, for using your voice in the world.
Wow.
For yourself. Yeah.
Thank you for all the amazing services that you're offering, and I really want to encourage people. I know most people watching this show watch the video replay. So if this is all too much for you, if they go to pollyannabush.com, that's where they'll be able to scroll and find what they need to do. Yeah. Is your Calendly link available at pollyannabush.com?
That would make sense for it to be there.
That
Now,
would be a good place to be.
that's a good hello, I'm learning. I'm learning the business side, getting
If
better
you
at
need
that.
help inserting that, let me know, because I'll hook you up with I've got somebody who did that for me.
Okay, yes, I would like some help with that. And also, meanwhile, just email me at info@pollyannabush.com.
Okay,
And we can totally just we can go that route and set up an appointment from there. And if you want to jump onto one of the free trainings, I will send you the links and the information there. Just so email me and we'll make it happen.
okay. Info@pollyannabush.com. POLLYANNABUSH.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pollyanna, thank you so much for what a beautiful way to start my Sunday. Um, it's going to be a full day. I'm hosting a 3 hour Fantuzzi online rainbow concert this afternoon.
Oh, beautiful.
And I've got 2 meetings in between then and now, but this is a beautiful way to start the day. And I so admire you. I really do.
Thank you so much.
You know, you're a great spirit, beautiful woman, beautiful inside and out. And thank you for sharing your medicine, your wisdom, your voice, and your understanding of how to be empowered and how to empower others. It's a real gift to our world.
My pleasure. Would you like to hear a little song before you guys?
I would love that. Is that possible?
Gee, I don't know. Let's find out.
I didn't know she was going to do this, and I was kind of hoping. Okay, I'm going to full focus on her.
So you mentioned the song Touchstone, so I'm gonna play that. And
I love this song.
it's so much about being of service, right? Touchstone. Where the breath meets the bone. Touchstone. Where your hand meets my own. Meets my own. I pray, I live tonight to give you a feeling
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, touchstone is a word that before I met you, I frequently used because of the nature of my coaching work. But now, whenever I use that word, I hear your beautiful voice singing it, you know, because I've heard, and because you sing it so often in the song, it's embedded in my brain.
Mhm.
And just beautiful. God bless you. Thank you, Pollyanna.
Thank you for having me here, Scott. This has
Oh,
been such a treat and a pleasure and a joy. And ah, my
I
favorite.
kind of I got so enraptured in you. I feel a little bad because we do have people in the Zoom room that I didn't really acknowledge very much. So hello, Anna and Sharon and T and User and one of the people in the chat wrote, Pollyanna, you're great. I am a total private singer. So for you, she'll help you to go from singing in the shower uh, beyond. So thank you to everybody.
Shower and beyond.
Right, right. There's Bed Bath and Beyond.
I get
She can take you beyond the shower. Go beyond the
a
shower.
whole new meaning now.
Exactly. So thank you, those of you in the Zoom room that were with us. And I apologize for not giving you more attention. I kind of got enraptured by Pollyanna. And thank you to everybody out in Facebook land. Again, you know, feel free for those of you watching on Facebook and also on our YouTube channels that are watching, go ahead and still put in comments, even if you're watching the replay, because most of you will be watching the replay, and we'll go back and we'll take a look and try and respond. So, you know, thank you for that. Pollyanna, I look forward to our next connection.
It's so wonderful. It's always such a pleasure and a treat to be with you, Scott. Thank you.
Yeah. Much
And
love.
thank you, everybody else, everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining, and know that your voice matters, and we need it. We need it. We need to all step up our game and come out of hiding.
Yeah.
Because when
Now
you
is the time.
you know, it really is. And when you hide your light, somebody who needs to have your particular message, your way of giving it, you're holding back for that person. So remember, when you're holding back your light, there's somebody that you're here to serve that's not getting your gift.
And you're never ready, by the way.
And no, and
You're
I'm never ready.
never ready. You know, I train coaches and they're all waiting to be ready. You're never ready. For those of you that had children, were you ready to have a child? Right? Think about anything you've done in your life. You're never ready. You just do it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm every single day I meet the day, not ready. Just like just get me out of my way, Lord. Because I ain't ready.
I love you.
Okay.
All right. Have a beautiful sacred Sunday, everybody.